Nicholas, good
Hey,
morning to you.
hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm doing really good. Uh,
We've
Nicholas, I'm not sure how it is in Georgia, but it's been miserable and rainy over the last week. A storm is brewing right here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, right now. I will say my flowers look great, and so do my lawn. And we have a special guest that I don't think deals with any of this nasty weather that we deal with right now.
Hi everyone, I'm Nico Fara. Yes, I'm in LA, so beautiful here. Sorry.
that's,
Jealous.
I'm so jealous too. All right, well, why don't we get started? All right, everybody, this is Nico with eStreamly, the company that gets you live stream and video commerce on your site, social media, email, wherever you are, your video is shoppable. So excited to be here. I'm here with my great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC and HSN. And today we have a very special guest, Nico Fara. Nico Fara has been someone that has come up for many time in the pod and always had some amazing content and a lot of opinions. And we're like, well, we love people that have opinions. So why don't we have her coming on the show? But before we go there and let Nico introduce herself, Matt, why don't you tell us what the show is about very quickly?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the VCommerce podcast. Nicholas and I are here every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. What is VCommerce? It's video commerce. It's the platform that started with DRTV, direct response television, graduated to home shopping with QVC, HSN, and the other TV channels, and now it is everywhere on your app, on your phone, on your computer, and on your television. So we cover 3 or 4 hot topics of the week each week. We try to keep it tight, and we've got, of course, as we usually do, a great number of conversations today that hopefully that you haven't heard about or will enlighten you about in the video commerce world.
Yeah, amazing. So Nico, thank you for being here. Before we jump in the first story, why don't you quickly introduce yourself too?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I'm an engineer, creative technologist, and entrepreneur. I have built different solutions. Before AI was hot, we were building e-commerce tech solutions like virtual try-ons, size recommendation, and other solutions for especially the fashion retail side. And then moved to immersive shopping, using game engines to create immersive virtual stores and virtual events. So I'm excited to talk about one of those topics today.
Absolutely. In fact, the first story we want to go in is something that you brought up to our attention with Roblox. So what is the story there?
Sure. So if you have a Gen Z or Gen Alpha child around you, you probably know of Roblox. It's a great place for people to meet others, have fun, and now shop. So they have 97.8 million daily active users. And with that much traffic, they have tons of opportunities. And up until yesterday, it was hard for people to shop actual physical items. They did one experiment last year with Walmart, but before that, it was not really happening. And starting from yesterday, we are seeing a partnership with Shopify, which then allows for players to actually shop both physical and digital version of the items in their gaming experience. And so this is very exciting for all the brands that are targeting Gen Z and Alpha, or even if they're not targeting it right now, but they should broaden their scope. And this is an opportunity for creators to monetize more. This is an opportunity for the users to have more fun and have more experiences. And then for the brands to create that purchase intent and have that conversion happen and get more ROI of their investment.
Yeah, sounds quite amazing, right, Matt? Like it feels to me like you're on a video game, and then all of a sudden you see this great product that you like. You purchase it digitally, right? And then you can when you do that purchase digitally, you also are receiving the real physical good. Is that how the process would looks like?
It is, yes. It's going to be a pop-up that I haven't tried it myself yesterday, but it's generally, this is how it works. It's like a pop-up similar to what experiences in Shopify. And then you can put your address and everything and shop like you are in the physical, but you're not leaving the experience.
So
Very
it's
cool.
so you're walking through a virtual home and you see a pair of sneakers on the shelf, and you hover over it and you click on it, and then all of a sudden the expansion comes on the product detail page in some way, shape, or form, and you
Yeah.
order it right then and there in the middle of the game, which I
Yeah.
assume is paused while you're interacting and shopping.
It's like a pop-up window, yes. So things are happening around you. This is just happening on top, a layer on top of your experience. And again, I don't know the exacts of this application, but this idea is not new to us who have been in the immersive experience side. A lot of us, like my company, built it 4 years ago. Roblox is just catching up. But yeah, generally, that's what you described it beautifully.
And Roblox, this is a platform that companies and individuals create platforms for gaming, right? So you could play a game that's already created for you from a company or from a friend or from another individual, or you create your own game through their platform, correct?
Yes, this is a user-generated content platform. So yes, they provide you with all the tools and solutions. They build some of the experiences, but a lot of it is built by other studios and players.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of
Nicholas, we
crazy,
talk
right?
about followers and all that kind of thing, and so if you've got 100,000 people playing your game, now you could go to major retailers for advertising dollars to support the game broadcast. Correct?
I'm assuming I mean, like, I think the game itself, you're creating your world, right? You're creating your own thing, and then I think each brand is creating his own environment, and people just interact. Like, if you, I'm assuming. So the reality is, I never been playing on Roblox. My daughter has been asking me like forever, like that she can stop playing with it, and I'm like, I haven't gone and say yes because I think we're already spending way too much time on social. So I'm like, okay, well, one thing at a time. But I guess the this is what the new generation are doing, and I feel very old not knowing about it and knowing that, I'm not a gamer, so I don't know much about the space. But it sounds very interesting. The fact that they are capturing audience, and one of the things I was listening to Alex podcast recently, he was interviewing the founder of the ecosystem behind Fortnite, which I think is also the same ecosystem for Roblox, if I understand.
No, it's Epic Games. So he interviewed, yes, founder of the Epic Games. Epic Games is behind Unreal Engine and Fortnite. Fortnite is the kind of the biggest competitor to Roblox. It's more focused on younger male teens versus Roblox is more Gen Alpha. And more female, but you have a mix in both sides. And going back to the question that Matt had about the brands, I would say brands can get involved in so many ways with these immersive experiences. We don't really call them games in this world. We call them immersive experiences. And at some point they were called metaverse, but now people prefer this. And then brands can either build their own world. Yes, Nike did it, but also a lot recently we're seeing collaboration. So like if a studio is successfully generating traffic and engagement, brands just come in and do like a pop-up similar to the real world. So you can see a lot of parallels with the real world in these immersive virtual experiences. And this announcement with Roblox yesterday actually came with Fenty Beauty launching with their gloss bomb, and they did an experiment before I think about a year ago, and that was a co-creation with the players to come up with new shades of their products, and then they actually created that shade that never existed. So these are like really great places for brands to experiment with less resources and iterate through the ideas much faster than they can in the physical experiences.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's amazing. What really amazed me in this podcast is what I did not realize is how much engagement and how much people spend time on those environments. And it felt to me like this is almost the future of social media in a way, right? It felt to me like if social media has a next thing, this is probably
100%.
that. And that really was the surprise, because it's a very social experience. It's a very digital first experience. but it's so interactive that you're with friend, with no friend. People, they were talking about this notion that maybe you don't like this specific environment or game or like immersive experience specifically, but because your friends are there, you're going there anyway. So there's this whole social dynamic, and the fact that brands are coming in, we already knew media were there. I it really struck to me like this is something we need to pay more attention to, at least from just a curiosity perspective. I just found it fascinating, and I'm so glad Nico bring that up because it is not something we've talked about before.
Nico,
yeah,
I got one more question. So can I, if I, whatever store, Sephora as a beauty store, because you talked about Fenty, can I create, if I'm a Sephora, can I create my reality store inside of this platform and literally have it mimic my actual store, and people can experience it and shop in the exact same way virtually?
100%. And that's actually Sephora exactly did this. They used Unreal Engine from the Epic Games and created their own world. And the problem with those is that you have to then try to drive traffic. But if you are putting it in the Roblox or an existing game that already has traction, you're going to get that traffic. So, there's a lot that we talk about on my show about all of this. And yes, it is a very complicated environment. And to your point, Nico, this is truly the future of social media and commerce even. And we are already seeing how much Gen Alpha is not on different social media platforms. They're not allowed, or they just don't like it, but they are on Roblox. Schools, when they were closed during the pandemic, kids were connecting through Roblox. So this is definitely what they're going to grow up into.
Yeah. Amazing, Matt. I think we keep saying video commerce is the next thing, but then the AI was next thing. Now it looks like it's more like the virtual and the emergence of those virtual worlds. So we're too old, Matt.
I know. Well, that's obvious.
Why don't we move to the next story? Of old thing, to say the least. Someone that is doing a old thing new, or it's Netflix, and Netflix has been introducing something quite interesting. They have introduced their a new short video on vertical feed as on mobile. So basically, right now on Netflix, you can actually instead of like looking at the whole movie, or if you're like looking at browsing what you will be watching next, you can actually browse through short form video of that specific. It's nothing new. It's already a lot of people are already pushing that on social media. I think what's interesting is that Netflix wanting to own that experience in the app. I don't know for you. I personally don't use much the Netflix app on my phone, but maybe there's a lot of user on Netflix app. So I'm be curious to hear what others are doing. But we know that Spotify has been doing this for like show like us, for instance, where you can upload a short film, and it's actually driving quite a bit of traffic. So I would not be surprised that they are taking this on. But it's another interesting play where we again showed the power of short form and vertical format, and I just found it quite interesting. What do you think, Matt?
Well, you know what? I just as Nico was talking about creator content, I'm thinking about the movie company and the directors and the producers of a hour and a half, hour 45 movie that is reduced to shorts. And I am one of those people that watch shorts on YouTube consistently, and I know the premise, and I know everything I need to know about multiple movies and multiple TV shows with never watching the actual show through shorts. And if I ask the director or the producer or the company that produced it about like the Community is a comedy that has been off the air for a number of years, I've never watched it on television. I've watched so many shorts of a series that I think I know everything about it. But I didn't experience it the way it was created. This is the same kind of thing. I wonder if there'll be, I question whether there'll be pushback from the creators themselves in in changing how they created this personal content.
I don't know what you think, Nico, but I feel that people are already doing that. You can already go to social media for watching a piece of content. And if you remember why Walmart launched their their movie, like the rom-com, a year and a half ago in December, in a 3-minute short form increment, 23 short form clip, was because they came to the conclusion that people will watch 1 or 2 or 3 clip and they say they watch the whole movie. So why bother launching a whole hour and a half? Let's just launch snippet and then let people say that they watch it. I think, I mean, that's what already people are doing. I don't know. What's your thought on that, Nico?
Yeah, this is interesting that you brought that up. Yesterday, I was watching some trailers on YouTube Shorts, and I was like, why they're giving away everything? And I think it goes back to the creative person or whoever is creating this, which is not necessarily doing the right job. To me, a good short is a teaser to the long form to drive the traffic. And a good example that I love is from the Instagram or YouTube channel of Diary of CEO. And they always completely entice you and intrigue you to go watch the 2 hours show. And so I think that would be the best one. And then in terms of the Netflix app that you brought up, I don't know if you guys talked about it before, but Netflix has stepped into the gaming world, and they have huge traction on that side. So that might be one reason that people are using the app a lot.
Yeah, that is definitely something I've noticed personally, like the gaming thing on Netflix, and you can actually download games. So, but it's still I don't know, the gaming world still very new, right? It doesn't feel like there's not really much. It's like just you get new games that you can download, and then that game expires. So once you consume the game, I didn't.
Gaming is no new thing. It's been around for a very long.
I will say it's new to the Netflix world, but it's there's nothing really innovative about Netflix doing game in a way, right? They're just showing you.
That's not so much the. Yeah, sorry, but that's not so much the point. If you notice, even LinkedIn has games.
Yeah, that's right.
New York Times. Did you know that one of the highest traffic and engagement they get is actually because of games, not the news? It's just mind blowing. So this is a way for getting more engagement and more traffic. It's not necessarily to match it to your existing content. Yes, it would be ideal if they do, but I think that for the first step, a lot of these companies are just trying to tap into the existing habits of the users.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Matt, this is a great segue for the next story, where you were seeing this article about brand loyalty, and the question being,
this young consumer, how loyal is she? So I saw an article. The Zeno Group did a study. 87% of American shoppers say they support the brands they love, and in this tariff time that we're in right now, 72% said they will stay loyal to those brands even when the price goes up. So we've talked about this before. I worked through QVC and HSN. My consumer I market to a woman that is 55 or older, and she's brand loyal and she's patient and she watches presentations. It's about education and engagement. Where my young daughter, who's in her 20s, is in that Netflix or the TikTok kind of mode where give it to her quick, give her a minute presentation on something. She loves video and she loves to be educated, but it's got to be quick. So my question to Nico, as an expert in this younger generation, is like, how loyal do you think this next 2 generations coming up will be to brands and to platforms in where they find what they want to shop for?
Thank you for that. So the difference is that the younger generations are looking for community and friendships and people that they want to connect to, find commonalities with. So a lot of these new brands that are gaining traction in Gen Z and Alpha are mostly the ones that are telling the story of the founder and connecting you to the brands that the founder has built, or the founder is the face of the brand. And that's what we are seeing on TikTok as well. Like, we want to connect with the human face. That millennial and Gen X and before them all were more about, very polished aesthetics. And that no longer works. Generally, even millennials and other generations are moving towards connecting to people. And so I would say they could be loyal. It's just a matter of telling the story differently.
I found it very interesting, Matt. I was actually on LinkedIn this week, and there was this big debate specifically around retail media specifically, because you're talking about TikTok, and and the fact that the consumer is actually consuming faster. But if you think of it, like if you look at what the commerce has been really over the last 5-6 years, it's already been about like how do we optimize the fastest path to transaction, right? And so it started with the one-click checkout, and then you've got the retail media, you've got the TikTok of the world, where it has to go fast for the digital. And now we got AI, right? And if you remember when we were talking recently, I was saying like when my experience of shopping on AI was, I did a chat with the thing with the AI bot, and then I got a couple recommendations. I thought that the first one was amazing. I don't know what the brand is. I just bought this thing, and I never really engage with the brand anymore, right? So that person was saying the same thing about retail media, with this notion of like, because we are getting trained to consume so fast, really the brand building is something that is completely killed in a way. And I think what Nico is saying is that the community aspect is what people are looking for and everything. And my point of view on this whole thing is that I think brand building is definitely not killed. I think it's something that you probably want to develop after the purchasing. The post-purchasing experience has never been so important in this new world where everything is so fast. Because if it's a consumer like me that likes fast thing, and I purchase your stuff based on someone else information, and I don't know who you are, it's your job to come to me, that now you have my contact, to educate me, getting me involved into some community, maybe figured out a way to get me on Roblox and then spend some time with you. But those are the things. And I think the post-purchase experience has never been so important. Curious to hear your thought on that, Nico. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I think there all sorts of buyers continue to evolve. So yes, we do have a lot of folks that shop through those LLMs or previously through Amazon and may not have built their relationship with the brand. And then the post-purchase is important, and that would be great if you have a QR code or NFC chip that will take you to their brand story and world. But the other side is that experiences like Roblox or physical activation can tell the story and drive that engagement that then drives you to go look at their website or shop the product. So I don't think brands need to stop any of them. It's just that you have to look more broadly and be open to like these different ways people connect to you.
Yeah, I love that.
Nicholas, I learned last week that brands' homepages are not as important in today's world, because the consumer is finding the product directly from another social app, and they're going right to that product detail page. So like they're no longer searching through the app and starting with the homepage, as I still continue to do. And that's where you get the engagement, I think, and the brand story and the connection with people, all that kind of thing. This younger customer is going right to that product detail page, skipping over all of that. So I like how you're saying, Nicholas, catch her on the back end. I always say her as a consumer, like catch her on the back end and find a way to educate her in some way about what the brand's about, what the founder's about, what they believe in and what they stand for. And then hopefully you get some brand loyalty. As we started this conversation, I'm fascinated with this younger consumer. Will she be brand loyal going forward? And it's time will tell.
I think it's going to come, like what Nico's saying is like the brand that are able to create that community aspect will have dial brand loyalty. The one that don't, they will need to evolve to a media company, which we've talked about it for forever. And that's how they're going to create and continue creating the engagement. And then in this past, the one that can't either emerge as a kind of a media first or media second, or like being able at driving that community, they're going to struggle. They're going to be on the retail shelf, and they will have to rely on distributors to do that for them, or like aggregation places to do that for them, because that's kind of how I think about it. But hey, it's been great. We are already at 24 minutes, so again, we're not been on time, but maybe that's okay. That we don't stay, we stay a little bit.
We are consistent.
Yeah, we're consistent with the fact that we never stick to the time. But before we leave, Nico, do you have a special shout out that you want to say?
Thank you for having me. I host a weekly live show similar to yours, but more focused on emerging tech and immersive experiences. This Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST, we're talking about how AI is changing video ads, actually. So join us live on LinkedIn.
Awesome. I love it. That Matt, anything on your side?
Well, Nico, you picked up an additional follower today with me because I think your content and your points of view are amazing. So I'm going to be tuning in on Tuesday for your show. My little shout out is I work with another beauty brand called Givenchy Beauty. We sell beauty products on QVC, and we have a big product show on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're home on your tablet or watching your television, 9 p.m. on QVC on Tuesday night, Givenchy Beauty.
Perfect. Well, great. Thanks everyone for being here. We are here every Friday on LinkedIn. Obviously, you can also find us on Spotify and on Apple on your favorite podcast. And just notice that if you're looking for us on those platforms, we are under the live e-commerce podcast. You can find us there. We're also writing a newsletter every week that is shipping on Monday for the most part. You can also find it on Substack and on LinkedIn. So if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'll be able to get that newsletter. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you want to be part of the show, please feel free to raise your hand. We would love to have you. And until next Friday, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.